What's that, Simon, you're saying? Well, hi everyone, it's Simon Palmer here from meetsimonpalmer.com. Stuck inside at the moment on the south coast of England. Just wanted to get this live stream going, share it, and then we'll have a little chat about intuition. I just got to refresh my page. It's I thought I'd give you a little view of a bit of spine and pelvis to keep the interest up. Yes, here we go. So I'll just share this. I know my friend Martin says I should get an Oompa Loompa to do this for me, and he's absolutely right. Okay, so that's shared this. Let's turn round. Hi. Go outside. It's quite nice outside actually. It's a bit breezy, but let's see how we go on. So we've been talking, well I have really, but you've actually been answering as well, a little bit about, we've been talking about intuition. And what I want to talk about today is how you can use it. And it's not something you just have to just wait and see if it comes to you, because you can actually, see, it's quite nice, you can actually tap into it. So as you go through your life, you're setting goals, and we all do that to a certain extent. And I know I've said it before, I found it hugely tricky, but it's now, the more I think about it, the more I practice, the easier it's getting. And as you go through life setting goals, Joe Vitale says a good goal has to scare you a little. So be unrealistic, but it has to excite you a lot. Before we go any further, turn on notifications. Bottom left, please share away. Let's get this message out there. Let's get people using their intuition. So yeah, having scary goals and particularly being excited about them is a surefire way of getting your intuition going. And there's a couple of techniques which you can use to get your intuition going and to tap into it. I mean, they're quite easy to do, but they take a little bit of practice, and it's that practice that takes the discipline. I hope you can hear me, because these earphones have been playing up a little bit recently. I think I need some new ones. Any advice on good earphones to get? So Sonia Choquette. A lot of my material comes from Mindvalley, and Sonia Choquette is a leading author on intuition, and Mindvalley publish a lot of her books. And then she's got this technique called clearing garbage. So what does she mean? What's all that about? So when you've got a problem, you often you hear your mind speaks. So this is the front of your head, where your conscious mind is. You hear that coming up with stuff, and then you let your intuition speak to you, and that's more from the back of your head. That's more your primitive brain, because as we've developed, our frontal cortex has developed, and that's what makes humans, or us, that bit different from previous forms of men. So the way to do it is you have to ask yourself what your mind's thinking. So let's do a little demo. So you say to yourself, my mind says X, Y, Z, or my mind says. So you ask yourself 3 times. So my mind says I'm hungry. My mind says let's go to a restaurant. My mind says let's make it Italian. So this is the technique you use when you're trying to make a decision, and you're asking your intuition to help you make that decision, to solve your problem. So you ask, your mind says 3 times. And then you ask your fears. What are your fears about it? And obviously for restaurant, it's not exactly going to be that scary, but for other decisions, it may be. So you have to identify what you're afraid of. So So in this example, you're going to ask yourself, I'm afraid of it's unhealthy. I'm afraid of I might order a pizza and be doubly unhealthy, or I'm afraid I might have too many beers with my pizza. So then you have to just be present. So you've found out what your mind says, you've identified what your fears are, and then you have to get present so that your intuition can work better. So just take a couple of deep breaths, just be aware of where you are, and listen to the birds singing around you, or whatever it may be, traffic roaring past. Just be present, and then you say, my spirit says 3 times. So my spirit says I could have pasta. My spirit says, but you love pizza. And my spirit says, well, have beer and pizza because you haven't had any for ages. So then you satisfy yourself. Okay, so that's a flippant view, but it's a demonstration to show you exactly how to do it. And that's called, I can't remember what it's called actually, but it's those asking yourself 3 questions each time. So your mind speaks first, and then your intuition speaks, and you identify your fears in the meantime. Now there's a more advanced technique for using your intuition, is one that Napoleon Hill was talking about in Think and Grow Rich. And if you've got if you want to set any goals, or you're running your own business, or you've got some fitness goals or anything like that, then Think and Grow Rich is a fantastic book to read by Napoleon Hill. And he talks about using invisible counsellors, and he had a boardroom of people. I mean, the likes of Abraham Lincoln, Henry Ford, people like that, and he would fill up his boardroom with these people, and he would often imagine himself going into the boardroom and talking to these invisible counsellors. And the more you practice it, the better you get at it. I mean, some people believe in guides and angels, and I think once you've got that belief, then you've already cracked it, because then you can ask your guides and angels about how to make decisions. And I'm absolutely convinced that there's guides and angels around to help you make decisions, and that it doesn't really matter if having guides and angels is actually real, because as long as you believe in it, as long as it empowers you, then you're halfway there. Because it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong, or real or not real, because if you believe in it, then it works for you, then that's happy days, win-win. So you're already there once that's going on. So that's maybe something to consider, getting your own little boardroom of invisible counsellors, and you can pick all kinds of people. I was thinking about this the other day, and for some strange reason, I picked Ronald Reagan as one of my invisible counsellors, so that was a bit freaky weird. My mum died a few years ago, actually this month, 3 years I think this month, and I'm pretty sure she's still guiding me around. Yeah, I know she is. So there's just a little insight in how to use your intuition and how to tap into it and practice using it, because the more you use it, the more it will help you. I mean, even from making decisions about going left or right or straight on, think about my mind says 3 times, what your fears are, so I'm afraid of 3 times, and then you say my spirit says, so that's your intuition, you say that 3 times, and eventually at the end of those 3 questions you'll come out with a much better idea about what the answer to your question is, or the answer to your problem. Yeah, and you don't have to believe it, and sometimes it just feels like guessing, and that's fine. You can just allow it to be guesses, and the more you get used to it, the more you'll realise that those guesses are actually real. Thanks for listening. As I say, turn on my notifications, share this with other people who might want to hear about using their intuition. And on Thursday, Brittany and I are doing hanging out together on it'll be Thursday evening in the UK, or Thursday lunchtime or early afternoon in the US. and very bright and early in Australia. But come hang out. meetsimonpalmer.com/webinar. You'll find a link to come and join the hangout. So bring questions. Come hang out with us. We're going to talk about mindset, crushing business, 90-day challenges, and all that good stuff. So come and join in. We'd love to have you. And meetsimonpalmer.com/webinar. Thanks for listening. Share away, and I will see you on the next one.